start small, be specific, and don't be afraid to fail, right? I mean, try everything you can with partners, use that partner advisory board as best you can. Partners want the best for them as well as for a mutual partnership and move forward, right?
Yeah, sounds like the partner advisory board is critical element in that process. Laurent, change tactic activity you did that you felt really dramatically improved performance?
So I think, and it touches a bit to some of the questions that I'm seeing in the chat there, the question on trust and on go-to-market with channel ecosystem, right? I think that's going to be across all vendor program, right? So having that clarity as to where your company plays direct versus the expectations from the channel partner is super important, right? So like I mentioned, deal registration is super critical to make sure that the opportunities from your partners are identified very quickly. What we are doing also now going forward at SAP is carving out dedicated territory for our ecosystem whereby our own sales force will not be looking at those accounts, right? So the partners have the confidence that they are only competing against themselves, right? I think that's important in terms of consideration. And then you need to, again, I think about, I would say, what you expect from your partners, right? And how you're going to reward them and how big you want your ecosystem. Is it very much volumes that matters to you, or is it value, right? So do you need a small ecosystem which is super performing and that's what you need, and it's not going to be a scalable recruitment you need to do, or do you need actually to have a significant volume of partner, but in that case be clear on your leveling framework as to where you're going to put your partners, right? And that is super important, and that allows you to manage your long tail of partner as well by having various tiers and level, which is also a question that I see on the chat there. Just leave your ecosystem dormant if possible, and then you might be able to reactivate them at some stage.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. So I think we're on to Q&A now. I'm conscious we're on time, but if it's all right with the panelists, we can carry on for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, Brenda, over to you.
Okay, I was going to, a number of people have asked to see the poll results, so I thought we might just jump into those first of all. Is that starting to come through there for the first poll?
Yep.
Okay, so here we were asking, as you're designing out your partner program, which of the following are your top priorities? So any feedback or any thoughts from anyone?
No, I think it's a mix, right, of different people at different stages. I think we'll probably move on to the next one.
Okay, close that out. So this one then, as you think, which of the following are your top priorities?
Interesting. So it seems that partner marketing and demand gen, training and enablement are top priorities. Am I reading this right? Followed by.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Any thoughts from the panel on that?
It's quite interesting. It's probably, yeah, it's slightly more even than I would have thought it would be.
Okay, we'll go on to the next one there now. So this time we were asking, what do you believe has the greatest impact on long-term partner loyalty? So ease of doing business was the first one with 86% of the audience. Next up then I think it was trust, fairness and transparency. And then the third one was enablement and support. Any surprises there?
None whatsoever.
Quite a few account managers are going to sorry, salespeople.
Yeah, I mean the ease of doing business we've talked about a little bit. You know, it doesn't really matter how many incentives you put out there or how many carrots you put out there. If it's just hard to get things done, partners will just start giving up, right? And you know, a lot of us have probably learned that the hard way, right? You know, you have the shiniest program out there, you've got some great products, you know, and even account management is good, but people can only do so many things, and if ease of doing business is just not up there as a priority, you can forget about it.
Okay, thanks, Kevin. Next up then, we were asking which elements of your partner program have already been automated. So the winner here is the core PRM, deal registration, partner portal, and content access, followed by, in close second, or in second place, training and enablement and marketing campaigns. So they'd be the top three. Any surprises there?
No, I think
higher.
Sorry, yeah, I'd say a comment. So in terms of the last one, the partner performance and tiering, I think that probably depends on the maturity of your program and how many partners you've got. So as we were talking about scaling, so in order to scale, Kevin, as you said, in order to scale, you need to be able to automate that tiering and have KPIs and dashboards and scorecards. So yeah, it might be that that's kind of low because maybe people are early in their kind of partner program journey rather than having a more mature partner program and a more mature channel.
Okay, and then the final poll result was in relation to the areas of your partner program that would benefit the most from automation. So the core PRM, I think, is the number one there.
Not surprisingly, that will trigger everything else behind after that. All your processes will be based on your PRM, so your end-to-end management of your contract, your contact management functions, your training enablement, program requirements, everything is based on that.
So what's interesting, I think if you look at the last one, partner performance, right, that's actually seen as an area that needs more automation would be my read on that. I think the earlier you do that, the better it is for you, because that's where you can show that impact. Without kind of having those key KPIs and metrics in place, I think it becomes very, very hard to show the impact of what you're doing internally, right? And I guess it depends on where you are in terms of that scale. So yeah, agreed.
Okay, I think that was the 5 polls. I'll just plug into some of the questions really quickly. I know some people popped them into the chat and then some people popped them into the Q&A box. So here Deborah is asking, starting off a channel stream, what's your recommendation on building/funding the enablement of these new partners?
Well, I'll jump in, right? So there has to be an investment by the company to open up a new route to market in the channel. You have to have C-suite buy-in to understand that, and just like probably any area where you want to grow, you got to invest there, right? If you don't have that, you likely fail, right? I'll be honest, you do need some element of investment in people, automation, and obviously, if you like, money for incentives and money for marketing. You can, although I highly recommend not to do it from the get-go, is do some kind of self-funding incentives because it's a little bit more complicated, but you could try that as well. But I think, if you're somebody who believes and your gut is telling you that a channel is a great route to market to move for my company, you got to build out the value proposition and take it to the people who will approve that and allow you to move forward, right? But there are definitely areas where you do need an investment. It's not a trivial thing that you do, right?